Our first story we'll be reading today, entitled Mom Wants Me to Get Rid of My Snakes or Move Out of My Parents' House, from user Infernal. After that, entitled Woman Demands I Help Her in a Store even when it's not my job, tries to then get me fired at my actual workplace, from user Did I Ask You. And then we'll be wrapping up with entitled Dad Tries to Steal My Kid's Bike, from user Roxanne1930. Thank you so much to our authors for letting us read your stories, and if you're an author who would like me to read your stories next, please submit them to the r/Mr. Reddit subreddit. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for new stories from Reddit every single day. Entitled Mom Wants Me to Get Rid of My Snakes or Move Out of My Parents' House. I was told this belongs here. I have snakes as pets due to my passion for them. None of the snakes are venomous, only constrictors. My parents knew about my passion since I was little, and while it took them a while to get used to it, they're now totally cool with my snakes. I keep the snakes in their enclosures in my room. However, whenever my parents' friends who have 2 kids, who are 9 and 11, come over, the mom always complains about the safety of their kids. I have a rule that the kids can't go into my room because they always go through my stuff and ruin things. Their mom always talks smack to my parents like, "Why do you even allow her to keep snakes? Those aren't pets. You should throw them all away. You should tell her to move out. How can you accept that?" The dad is totally cool and even asked me a few times if he can hold the snakes. Now, I have tried explaining to the mom multiple times that they cannot escape due to their enclosures. They could only escape if I wasn't paying attention and not closing their enclosures. And if they do escape, I have the docile species that are constrictors, not venomous. They don't even bite and would just run away and hide because they'd be scared. Yesterday they came over. When I went to the bathroom, the kids went in my room, and I could hear the little one yelling,
Mommy, Mommy, come check this out.
but I thought it was something random. When I came out of the bathroom, I found the mom looking horrified at her kids being amazed by my snakes. Of course, I started smiling when I saw them paying so much attention to the snakes and being curious. It makes me happy when people don't have the "it's a snake, so it must be bad and venomous" mentality. But that smile soon disappeared when the mom started yelling at me. My parents came as well into my room to see what was happening. She kept yelling at me that her kids could have been in danger and how irresponsible I am and how could I keep snakes as pets and so on, after the 1,000+ times I explained to her that my snakes are docile and not venomous, and it's not her business what I keep as pets and what my passion is. She kept yelling at me, telling me crap, and I was just looking at her like, what are you smoking? After explaining to her that nobody's lives were in danger because the snakes couldn't escape, she, still yelling, started telling my parents that I need to move out and how could they live with me. At that point, I snapped and I started yelling at her that when I went to the bathroom, I closed my door, and if anyone was at fault, it was she, because she didn't teach her kids to respect rules, and since my parents agreed to let me have snakes in their house, it shouldn't be her problem. I never forced her to look at my snakes. I never force her to handle them, and I never force her to listen to me explain the different types of snakes and all that, because I know she is afraid of snakes, so I never pushed this onto her. I would only tell her about my snakes when she would randomly talk smack about them. I grew up differently. When I was told no, it was no. When I was told you're not allowed to go in there, I wouldn't. So I expect the same from her, because she always talks about how great of a parent she is. She just lets the kids do whatever they want. She just called me a jerk and told me I need to get rid of my snakes or move out of my parents' house, or else she won't be coming over anymore. When my parents and even her husband took my part, she got super mad, took the kids, and went home. I understand her concerns, but she needs to understand that that is my room and her kids shouldn't have come in there, especially that my door was closed and they know the rule. I'm not okay with her allowing her kids to do whatever they want. However, I feel bad for the kids because they are curious and want to know more about the worm dragons, as they call my snakes. The dad, as I said, is totally cool and would love for the kids to know more about snakes other than
Snake bad, snake bite.
mentality that their mom is teaching them. The mom has been ignoring me and my parents and doesn't even talk with her husband because he took my part. I texted her and asked her that if she feels so unsafe when she comes over, why does she even keep coming over? Next we've got entitled woman demands I help her in a store even when it's not my job. Tries to then get me fired at my actual workplace. Hello, Mr. Reddit and Re-Army. I didn't think that I would have another story this soon, but alas. This is just further proof to myself as well that my area is filled with entitled and outrageous people as much as I wish otherwise. This time, this story is not only about me at my job, but also in public with complete strangers. Here we go. It's another long one. Backstory. As I said previously, I am a teen services library in a public library that caters to one of the largest school districts in the state. The people here view themselves as from a higher pedigree than others and have the personalities to match. This story happened this past Saturday after work. I am at the mall doing some shopping for some of the summer sales. Granted, I didn't realize that I had my name tag still on, and it has the library's name and emblem on it as well, making it obvious that I don't work in any of the stores. Anyway, on with the story. Our cast. We've got me. We've got the department store employee. We've got the manager of the department store. We've got the entitled woman. We've got my supervisor at my job. And we've got the library director. Story. I am finally out from working a busy full day from opening to closing and decide to go to the mall after. It is only about 20 minutes away and still in the school district boundaries. When I go into a store, I am approached by a few of the teens I associate with at work very often. They ask me some questions about upcoming events, and I answer them to the best of my ability. After another few moments, we part ways. Me continuing further into the store to browse around. Combing through the clearance with hangers of clothes hooked on my arm, I hear a woman huffing a little and feel the hard two-finger tap on my shoulder. If I didn't know any better, I bet she wanted to gouge out some flesh with those acrylics she had on.
Excuse me? I have to chase you to the other end of the store after you help those teenagers and don't even offer to help me.
While this woman doesn't have the Karen haircut or appearance, she makes up for it in the personality. She moves her sunglasses off her face to the top of her head, while I guess trying to give me a mom glare. I look younger than I am. Ma'am, I don't work here. I'm a librarian, and those were the teens who I see almost every day. I'm sorry that you got the wrong impression. I try to stay as professional and calm as possible. While she may be rude, I refuse to be. Entitled woman huffs, rolling her eyes and crossing her arms over her chest.
Whatever. You still represent the library, even when you're not working. You help people get stuff at work, so you have to help me now.
I blink at her for a moment, not really getting that logic. Without me physically being at the library, no, I don't have to do squat for this woman. At this point, I don't even want to volunteer to help her find an employee anymore, like I was planning to do in the first place. I do notice that the keychain in her hands has the mascot and name of one of the elementary schools in the district, though. Ma'am, again, I don't work here. I'm sorry, but it is not my job right now to help you in this store. It takes everything at this point to keep the calm and serene tone of my voice going. Unfortunately, my explanation still doesn't fly with this woman. She literally stomps her foot like a 5-year-old and gets louder as she goes on.
No, no, no! You are a civil servant. That means you serve. That means that you listen to what I tell you and want to help me now!
By now, people are staring. It makes me turn a little red. If I was back in my teens, I would most likely have hidden the clothing racks next to me. Can I help you, ladies? A cute little employee comes up to us. She's in her late teens, early 20s, and is eyeing the situation like it's a horde of snakes. But I give her mental kudos for having the cojones to step in at the end of that tirade, giving me a,
"Ha! Look what I'm gonna do now!"
look. Entitled woman turns to the employee.
Thank you, yes. I need to speak to your manager here and have them go through the cameras here. This jerk,
Points to me.
has been impolite, unwilling to help me, and discriminatory to me for the past 10 minutes.
Alright, at best it's been maybe 2 or 3. Whatever. Of course, I'm sorry. I have no idea what had happened. I just got in. Employee flounders looking between us. I feel myself get a little more red and getting nervous with the involvement of a manager, innocent or not. Confrontation is not my strong suit, and I have a horrible expression of looking guilty even when I am not most times, according to my boyfriend and family. Manager now comes over. She's a woman I recognize from visiting the library as a patron, though I never interacted with her. She smiles at me, also recognizing me. Hi, you're from the library, right? In the teen department. I smile, realizing that I have an ally in my corner, and just nod. Not that I would have a chance to say anything else. Entitled woman instantly steps in.
Yes, she's from the library and is refusing to help me.
Entitled woman makes her voice sound all meek and sad when you were previously able to possibly hear her from Mars a minute ago. Manager looks at me, and I give a droll one in return, getting pretty done with this situation at this point. Entitled woman is so busy trying to make herself look like the sad little victim here. Manager meets eye contact with entitled woman and speaks to her as if to a toddler, slow and making sure that each word registers to her. So, let me see if I understand you. You acknowledge and understand that this young woman is not an employee of this store, but a librarian. She is not liable to help you here, but you still want her to? Absolutely seething, entitled woman hisses a breath out between her teeth.
Yes, and she represents civil servants, even outside of work. She works for the state. Since I am also a citizen of this state, she must help me when I need it.
Manager also has that same silent reaction I did at this woman's reasoning and insistence that I help her. Manager takes a deep breath. It's not her job to help you outside of her work, and especially in a place that is not even her field of work. I will personally help you myself today. Entitled woman makes a move to speak again, but manager whips her hand up to make her stop mid-breath and looks at me. Go ahead and continue shopping. I will let the cashiers know to give you 25% off your purchase for today. I only nod and smile before almost literally running away into the forest of clothes. My purchase was made, and I think it's the end of it. Nope. No, it's not. Fast forward to earlier yesterday, Monday, my first day back after the weekend. My supervisor calls me early this morning before my shift is even close to starting. Hello? Hi, OP. It's your supervisor from the library. I get worried since she sounds a little angry. I would like you to come in early today before your shift. We need you for a meeting with administration, please. Oh, okay. Of course. I will be there half an hour early." She hangs up, leaving me to sweat the morning out until I walk into work. I am told to go into library director's office and am now very worried that this is something about my job performance here. "Hi, OP." Library director greets me pleasantly. Supervisor is sitting with her at a small conference table in the office. "Please have a seat and join us." I close the door behind me and do as I am asked. I feel my body reacting to my nerves, hands starting to shake a little, feet getting wobbly, sweating a bit. Honestly, I think at this point that I'm getting written up, fired, or both. I even feel my eyes start to burn with unshed tears at the prospect. "You can breathe, OP," supervisor says, sounding more kind than on the phone earlier. She's always been a stern woman, but I guess she realizes that I am scared. I do actually take a few breaths, realizing that I have been holding my breath. "OP, we received an email to the administration account regarding you from Saturday." Library director starts off, still kind and calm. "The schedule says you are on, and the time clock has you as clocked in and out. You were here, but the camera feed shows no confrontations, and the phone calls you answered were very short in length. What exactly happened?" I am given the email to read regarding me. Right away, I can tell from the speech pattern that this is the woman from the store. The entire time I'm reading it, the mantra, "It's that jerk from the store. It's that jerk from the store," is on a loop in my head. This email rips me apart in my character in a professional and a public environment, and how I am supposed to cater to those who are in the school district. I can tell you exactly what happened in regards to this email, but it was while I was off the clock and no longer on library premises. I launch into the story. By the end, both supervisor and library director are giving me the same blank-faced blinking expression that both I and manager from the store had. We all laughed it off, and they told me to let them know if she comes into my area and gives me trouble if she sees me. So far, so good, but I wouldn't be surprised if she comes in sometime this week to see if her complaint bared fruit. I can't wait to see the look on her face when she finds out that it did not. Next we've got Entitled Dad Tries to Steal Kid's Bike. Hello, my kinship of fellow Redditors. This is a story that happened to my mom today, and since she doesn't have Reddit and honestly doesn't even care what the site is, I decided to post it for you. Here's the cast. We've got my mom. We've got Entitled Dad. We've got the kid and owner of the bike. We've got the kid's friend and the angry bystander. I'm telling you this as my mom told me, so it might not be 100% accurate to what happened, but oh well. Let's go. So my mom was just in town shopping when she heard some commotion. Turning to where it was coming from, she saw an adult man riding a bicycle way too small for him, with two 10 to 12-year-olds hanging onto the back of the bike and the man's clothes making it even more difficult. They were screaming at him to stop while the man was spitting insults at them and telling them to let go. Normally, my mom avoids confrontation she doesn't have anything to do with, but after years of raising me, she had learned to pick up on things and had developed a strong motherly instinct that ordered her to protect kids. With that, she ran a bit to catch up with them and grabbed the bar hands of the bike, making the man actually stop this time and almost fall over, glaring at her. My mom says, "What's going on here?"
None of your business, jerk.
"He stole my bike."
Shut your mouth, Brett. This is my son's bike.
The kid's friend says,
"No, he's not. He's lying."
I told you both to shut up. Now, all of you, go away already.
Entitled Dad tried to leave again, but my mom wasn't having it and refused to let go of the bike.
"If it's your son's bike, why are you riding it?"
Entitled Dad sputtered a bit as he turned red.
I just bought it for him. Move already, so I can bring it to him.
The poor kid was starting to cry when my mom noticed a chain lock wrapped in a bright yellow plastic.
Did you buy that extra chain lock right away, too?
Yeah, I did.
Then can you show the key to it?
Why the heck would I?
Here it is.
The kid held up a small key, obvious a match.
Hey, that's just some random key. You don't.
The kid stuck the key into the lock and opened it. By then, more people had noticed what was going on and were gathering around. Many people were upset at what was obviously going on. Mom says,
I really think this is the boy's bike, sir. His bike, which you were attempting to steal, right under his nose. You should be ashamed.
Entitled Dad apparently didn't care anymore and threw the act to the wind.
Why the heck would I be ashamed? This stupid brat didn't lock it right. It was all up for grabs. How is that my fault?
Angry bystander.
Maybe you shouldn't steal at all, jerk.
As more and more people started yelling insults at him, the entitled dad tried to leave again, but a couple of guys roughly pulled him from the bike and threw him into the pavement. They kept him pinned till the police arrived, and the kids were picked up by one of their mothers. As this went on, entitled dad kept thrashing and screaming how his son deserved the bike more, as he wouldn't be stupid enough to leave it unlocked, and other insults being thrown at everyone around. Upon hearing how this all went down, I really wish I was there, but I did end up rewarding my mom to some of her favorite chocolate with caramel filling. And congrats to our re-generals of the day: Mittens the Cat, Rainbow Unicorn Destruction, Black Dragon, and Vortex. Become tomorrow's re-generals by dropping as many re's as you can in the comments below.